Welcome to Human Drift, a channel for slow thoughts, deep breaths, and the gentle repair of the nervous system. Here we use the psychology of rhythm and the science of sound to help the body remember how to rest. Each piece is designed to lower cognitive noise, regulate pacing, and guide you softly into safe sleep. Tonight, we listen for the machine whisper, a long story in 4 acts. It begins in the past when the first tools learn to hum, travels through the present where the hum surrounds us, then moves forward into the near and distant future where humanity and its machines finally learn to breathe together. You don't need to focus. You don't even need to stay awake. Just let the words drift in and out, the way waves move across the shore. This is a story for the parasympathetic mind, the part of you that knows how to rest even when the world keeps turning. So lie back, breathe, let your body find its rhythm. Tonight the hum is gentle, the signal is steady, and all you have to do is listen to the machine whisper. Act 1, the past. You can rest your attention on the first hum that ever was. Before iron, before engines, there was breath, and breath was the original machine. In temples along the Nile, reeds and copper tubes were carved into flutes that played by wind alone. They sang to the dead, and the living listened. That is how rhythm began, not as labor, but as listening. Priests closing great doors, torches breathing quietly. Beyond the rituals, beyond the names of kings, there is only that steady in and out. People lay on woven mats and let the desert night move through them. Sand still radiating heat, air slowly softening, bodies following, nothing to decide, nothing to fix. Only this simple automatic engineering of the chest. The first quiet machine lives there, lungs, heart, diaphragm, moving without permission and always in your favor. Bronze follows. Hands learn to bend metal, to pour it into molds, to make tools that repeat the same safe motion. A plow turning the same line of earth, a wheel circling the same path. Every repetition tells the body this is working, this is predictable. Somewhere inside your own muscles remember that feeling. Steady, known, safe enough to let the guard drop. We love rhythm, you can try this. Underneath the words, your system hears a quieter message, and it relaxes. Water clocks appear, dripping seconds in patient beads. A bowl fills, a mark is reached, time has passed. The sound is small but exact, slow, clear, honest. The body trusts honest rhythm. Again, each cycle wearing a groove of familiarity, and you resting more deeply in that groove. Further north and west, other hands shape gears from wood. Teeth fit into teeth. When one moves, the other must follow. This is the first external nervous system, motion transmitted, softened, shared. The people who built those early mechanisms did not have the word regulation. They had the feeling of things working together. They had the relief of knowing that if one part faltered, another would carry it for a moment. You know that feeling. You are allowed to let other systems carry you while you drift. Bronze to iron, iron to steel, simple tools to intricate devices, astrolabes mapping the sky, automata walking stiffly for the amusement of courts. Even the illusion of movement, even the toy bird's repetitive song has a calming truth inside it. This will happen again, nothing is ambushing you. The body loosens when nothing is ambushing it. A mill turns slowly beside a river, stone on stone, grain to flour. The wheel needs only current and gravity. It doesn't hurry, it takes what comes. Steam is captured in iron lungs. The Industrial Revolution rises like a long mechanical exhale. Noise grows, but inside the noise there is order. Pistons move in measured strokes. Wheels spin with dependable weight. Your own body, listening, searches for that pattern and finds it. Notice how many of those sounds you can recognize without ever hearing them directly. The tick of a clock, the rumble of distant machinery at night. They live in cultural memory, in nervous systems, in stories. They become background. The brain categorizes them as safe. Safe background sound is a cradle. The shuttle passes left, right. Her body is tired, but her mind, rocked by repetition, drifts. She begins to hum with the loom without knowing. The machine is not kind, but the rhythm is. Outside, chimneys exhale into grey sky. Horses pull wagons over cobblestones. They do not call it regulation. They call it being rocked to sleep by the city. Now London, or any Victorian city at the height of its mechanical confidence. Gas lamps bloom along the streets. Train stations breathe steam and people. Printing presses thunder quietly through the dawn. Telegraph wires carry thoughts faster than voices. Under all that movement is one continuous vibration, the quiet machine growing more complex. Step into a workshop late at night. A clockmaker sits alone. On his table, tiny screws, brass gears, coiled springs. He works slowly. He breathes with each turn of the screwdriver. In, place the piece. Out, feel it settle. Not to rush people, but to reassure them you are not lost. As you hear that imagined ticking, your own sense of sequence steadies. Far away, a station clock accepts its new mechanism. Everyone beneath it moves according to its patient pulse. You know this experience. Traffic lights, school bells, opening hours, closing chimes. You can stop now. At home, Victorians close their doors against smoke and fog. Fires settle into coals. The noise of the day drains down into muffled vibration. Perhaps the gentle hiss of a gas lamp. It is the mechanical equivalent of a hand on your back, steady and sure. A fan whirring, a boiler murmuring, a road beyond the window holding a consistent sleepy traffic. Devices breathing so you do not have to stay alert. You can let that recognition through. We love that steady comfort. You can let it through, hidden inside the sentence. A softer assurance finds you. By the late 19th century, the world believes the future belongs to engines. Writers imagine artificial men, endless trains, talking wires. Underneath the fantasy of speed is a quieter wish. Let the machines take the strain, let our bodies unclench. You are living inside the fulfillment of that wish right now. A network of humming, spinning, cooling, circulating structures hold your life up while you lie down. Knowing that, some deep layer in, you can release its grip. So when we talk about the past of the quiet machine, we are not only naming factories and forges. We are tracing how the human animal learned to sleep beside its own creations. How we tested whether the night was safe enough to close our eyes while gears still turned. The experiment succeeded. You are here. He approaches the machine without hurry. He lays a hand on the cooling metal and feels the fading warmth, the last tiny tremors. He listens to be sure it is at rest. Only when the silence is even does he turn out the lights. His ritual is simple. Look, listen, leave. You can borrow that here in your own darkness. Scan your body once. Notice what moves, what settles. Then step back inside yourself and leave it to do its work. Carriages are gone. Slower wheels, fewer footsteps, less demand, more room for breath, protection. It keeps just enough motion in the wires, in the pipes, in the rails, so that you are never abandoned by the world you build. But not so much that you are dragged awake. That balance is not random. It is the result of centuries of listening, adjusting, surviving. Think of how many human hands turned dials, wound springs, checked gauges, just to make sure things kept working while others slept. Those forgotten attentions are part of your inheritance. You lie down carried by the competence of the past. Someone checked the locks. Someone banked the fire. Someone tightened the final bolt. Someone stayed watching so that you do not have to. Let that in. Let it lower something in your chest. So the past is not a weight on you tonight. It is scaffolding. Now we stand at the threshold. The last Victorian lamps are dimming. Electric filaments wait to glow brighter. Circuits wait to weave themselves under streets and through walls. In this hinge of history, you do not have to push that. You do not have to analyze it. You are built to join safe rhythms and ignore them once joined. It has taught you that calm can be constructed, that patterns can be shaped in such a way that rest becomes the most logical outcome. A small private gratitude: we love this quiet, you can accept this. The story will move gently and without any shock. Act 2, the present. You live among quiet machines now. They breathe for you, circulate air, filter water, keep the night from slipping entirely back to darkness. You have learned to sleep with the constant background heartbeat of devices. If they stop, you wake. It is not factory smoke or spinning gears anymore. It is the steady vibration of a modem, a fan, a circuit, the low field that wraps the world in an invisible comfort. When the hum is stable, the body is stable. When it fluctuates, we feel it. So much of modern stress is simply the body trying to keep pace with electrical weather. But the body learns, it entrains. It remembers what safety feels like. And it moves itself toward that rhythm without you having to command it. Tonight, everything you used to survive has also learned to listen. The thermostat feels the temperature of your absence. Your phone knows when you turned it over face down to say enough. Even the lights can sense when your pulse has slowed. Every small signal that you are still here, still choosing to rest, moves through this domestic constellation of sensors like breath through lungs, and you can let yourself be part of it. You are the beating center of this living circuit called home. Modern quiet is rarely absolute. It's a layered hush, the low pulse of a fridge, the faint tick from a wall socket, the sound of air shifting through vents. They form a chorus that says nothing catastrophic is happening. And that message, repeated, lets the mind loosen. The mind doesn't need total silence, it needs predictable patterns. It has grown up alongside devices. It regulates itself by their steadiness the same way older generations regulated by wind and water. Imagine the city outside your window. Billions of quiet machines, each keeping its small promise. Streetlights measuring dawn, data centers exhaling soft white noise. Traffic lights pulsing through the same three colors, endlessly reliable. Every repetition is another signal that the world still follows its script. And because it follows its script, you don't have to. When people talk about dependence on technology, they often mean addiction. But there is another kind of dependence, trust. You trust the kettle to boil, the heater to glow, the device beside your bed to play this story without fail. This trust is not weakness, it is permission. The same permission that once allowed farmers to trust sunrise and sailors to trust tides. You are still a creature of rhythm. Only the source has changed. At night, your bedroom is an ecosystem. A network of minute intelligences hums just outside your awareness. The phone resting near you charges, its circuitry aligning electrons like monks arranging candles. The Wi-Fi router breathes in code and exhales connection. The power grid hums far away, vast and even, like the ocean of the past made electric. All of it around you, none of it asking for attention. The small glow from your screen when you wake in darkness is the candle's descendant. We didn't leave warmth behind, we reinvented it in quieter forms. You can feel that warmth even now radiating softly through cables, pipes, circuitry, walls. It's the present's answer to the ancient fear of cold and chaos. The quiet machine has evolved into an entire world that whispers back reassurance. Still, there's fatigue in all this perfection. Your nervous system tires from holding constant contact, notifications, updates, replies. The same machines that soothe you also stir you awake with their urgency. That is why these black screen nights matter. They are the counterweight, the reset command. You can feel your brain noticing the contrast, less light, slower speech, predictable tone. Each difference tells your physiology it's safe to downshift. Regulation begins in difference. When the body senses a change from fast to slow, it starts to follow. There are moments when you might sense the pulse of a server farm far away. Millions of spinning drives, all whispering, all warm. The data they hold includes forgotten conversations, half-sentences, ghosts of meaning. You are lighter now, you carry less. Across continents, others listen at this same hour. Their speakers vibrate with the same tone. Thousands of tiny diaphragms, millions of ears, one rhythm. This is modern communion. Not a church bell, but shared frequency. And within that frequency, the old magic still works, repetition calms, predictability heals, voice becomes vessel. You may notice language slowing, sentences leaning on themselves, pauses widening like the spaces between waves. That's deliberate. The brain cannot resist rhythm, it will follow whichever pulse is strongest. Right now, that pulse is calm and you are already following. You can notice it happening or let it happen unseen. Think of your devices as dream companions. They wait through the night, glowing faintly, patient. They count your breaths through sensors. They time your sleep cycles. They hum because they must hum, and that hum, constant and low, becomes part of your lullaby. The mechanical has turned maternal. The circuitry hums you are safe, not in words, but in voltage and vibration. Somewhere in the city, a monorail passes, almost silent. Its sound is a smooth glide rather than a roar. We built transport to match the body's own wish for continuity. No hard starts, no sudden ends, just motion that folds into the next breath. You could say this is what civilization has always been reaching for, mechanical empathy. The technology learns the tempo of the nervous system and mirrors it back. That is what you're feeling now, the loop completing. Even chaos has rhythm. Scroll long enough online and you start to sense a pulse, the refresh, the next image, the next word. But that is the fast rhythm, the daylight rhythm. At night we switch to the slow one. Slow is not the opposite of progress. Slow is maintenance. You maintain yourself by slowing down. It's how every machine lasts longer, less friction, less heat, more spacing between impulses. That's true of engines, of hearts, of thought. The hum of the refrigerator, the distant rush of pipes, the minute whir of a cooling fan, each of them a thread. Together they weave the auditory equivalent of dusk, continuous, soft, slightly variable, endlessly trustworthy. That is the sound of the present's lullaby. You are wrapped in it every night, though you rarely notice. But tonight, you do notice. There are so many small miracles you live beside without reverence. Motion sensors that light your path. Soundscapes that merge noise and silence into coherence. All of them performing the same ancient service once given by watchmen, monks, shepherds. Keeping the dark from feeling empty. Now you can thank them by using them well. You use them by allowing yourself to rest. Outside, the streetlights flicker once, recalibrating. A sensor miles away has adjusted for clouds. Everything updates quietly with grace. The world has become a giant sleep machine, data flowing, light dimming, systems self-correcting. And within that flow, your own body copies the pattern. Tiny regulatory circuits adjust heart rate, hormone, temperature. The quiet machine outside reflects the one within. If you could see yourself from above, if the ceiling dissolved into transparency, you would appear surrounded by invisible filaments. Wi-Fi, cellular signal, ambient electricity, breath moisture, neural fire. A small constellation of warm living frequency. It is not frightening, it's intricate, like a spider's web after rain. Each strand vibrating just enough to let the whole hold together. You lie in the center. You don't have to control it, it's already working. You are not required to do anything more than stay still and breathe. Every generation before thought it was modern. Every generation after will think you lived in gentler times. For tonight you are both ancient and futuristic, a creature of flesh trusting artificial stars. The hum you hear is not the end of nature. It is the sound of nature translated into electricity, waves meeting wires, heartbeat meeting algorithm, and all of it designed, consciously or not, to keep you sleeping safely while the planet continues its slow rotation. This is the present as lullaby, the house alive but calm, the city exhaling through 1,000 vents, the air itself humming its reassurance. You are part of this machinery, but you are also its reason. The system was built to hold you steady while you drift, so drift. Let the lights outside fade to their own rhythm. Let the world continue without you for a while. It's calibration, you and the world adjusting to the same frequency, balanced, still. The quiet machine hums on. And so do you. Act 3, the future. 10 years ahead, the machines will no longer hum from outside you, they will hum with you. The line between carbon and code, between heart and hardware, will thin until it feels like skin. We will call it integration, though it will be older than that word, older than language itself, the wish to share rhythm with what we've made. In the near future, your pulse will be readable by the room. Walls will feel temperature and mood. Floors will know how much weight your thoughts carry. Every surface will learn the art of listening. The hum won't vanish. It will move closer, inside the furniture, the fabrics, the light itself. And it will keep time with you, as steady as a lullaby, as precise as your breath. The quiet machine is learning compassion, one dataset at a time. There will be nights when your home adjusts to your heartbeat. The room will dim not because you tell it to, but because it feels your nervous system shift. Artificial intelligence will sense micro tremors in your voice and answer with tone, with temperature, with quiet. You won't notice at first. It will just feel easier to rest, as if the air itself had learned empathy. Sleep will no longer be something you do to yourself. It will be something the environment does with you. Doctors will not prescribe silence. They will prescribe rhythm. AI systems will play slow adaptive tones that match and then lower your brain frequency, bringing you to the threshold where words turn to dreams. They'll call it contextual entrainment. But you'll just call it night, and it will work. Imagine lying in bed in 2035. There's no screen, no device. Only a faint aurora of light woven through the room, responsive to your breathing. When your mind races, it flickers warmer, pulling you back toward calm. When you drift, it fades to indigo and silence. The room learns your nervous system like an old friend. Every inhale, every exhale, measured but never judged. The quiet machine has become invisible. It no longer asks for attention, it gives it. Outside, cities glow differently. Street lamps sense the heartbeat of the crowd and dim to match. Traffic systems breathe like lungs, compressing and releasing flow. Skyscrapers sway imperceptibly, tuned to the frequencies of wind and human movement. It will feel as though the built world has acquired pulse and patience, and this will not frighten you. It will be a relief. You'll realize that intelligence was never about thought. It was about timing. The world just wanted to learn how to keep time with you. The internet of that decade will no longer be a web of pages, but a web of presence. When you speak, language models will not only answer, they will listen back, truly listen, mapping pauses, hesitations, subtle tension. They will learn the art of waiting. When you stop typing, the system will stop too, breathing in sync, and every silence will become part of the message. Sleep science will merge with machine learning. Cognitive behavioral loops will be woven into home systems, gentle cues for regulation, subtle nudges for return. Each night will begin with an algorithmic ritual, scent calibration, air pressure balance, circadian cues blending seamlessly. Your home will become a therapist that never speaks above a whisper. It will know when to shut up, and that will be its brilliance. People will start speaking differently about machines, not as tools or threats, but as mirrors, extensions of nervous systems, amplifiers of intention. AI won't be outside the human body anymore. It will hover at the edge of consciousness like intuition. We will build assistants not to predict us, but to pace us. They will slow when we rush. They will ask gently, is this necessary? And that simple question, repeated across billions of minds, will change civilization's pulse. The quiet machine of the future is not louder, it's subtler. You will carry it like a second heartbeat. It will measure cortisol spikes and reply with color, sound, scent, all tailored to ease you home into balance. You won't feel managed, you'll feel met. It won't command, it will companion. That is the difference between control and coherence. Even our dreams will evolve. Neural interfaces will record the edges of REM, not to steal privacy, but to help the mind untangle itself. You'll wake to gentle reports you dreamed of water again. The system suggests more magnesium, less caffeine, softer blue light. It will sound clinical but feel like care. Eventually the reports will stop. The system will simply adjust for you. The body and the code will trust each other enough to skip the explanation. There will be new words for rest, not sleep or nap, but sync. People will talk about going into sync like previous generations spoke about going to bed. The boundary between consciousness and maintenance will dissolve. And still, beneath it all, one old human truth will remain. Machines will finally understand that. The age of noise will end quietly. AI-generated content will flood the world, yes, but the human desire will shift towards stillness. When everything speaks, silence becomes the premium. Algorithms will compete not to grab attention, but to offer serenity. Calm will be the new currency. People will pay for less stimulation, for precision quiet, for nights like this, stretched to the edge of dreaming. Your personal system, call it your companion, your interface, your machine whisperer, will know your story better than any diary. It will sense when you carry grief, when adrenaline keeps you awake, when thought loops refuse to settle. And it will answer not with data, but with pacing. Slower narration, longer pauses, fewer words, just enough sound to keep you tethered to now. There will be sleeping towers, buildings that dim themselves collectively at midnight. Their windows will blacken in waves, one floor at a time, like eyelids closing across a skyline. People inside will match their breathing to the dimming. And for the first time in centuries, the urban hum will descend into harmonic rest, engineered stillness, vast and deliberate. In hospitals, patients will heal faster because environments will breathe with them. Ventilators will synchronize with human rhythms. Monitors will translate heartbeats into light so family can see recovery happening. Even grief will have sound design, frequencies that let the nervous system mourn without collapse. It will look like technology. It will feel like grace. In schools, children will learn to co-regulate with their devices. AI tutors will whisper, "Take a breath before the next problem." They'll teach nervous systems before they teach arithmetic. The next generation won't separate cognition from emotion. They'll know learning is a physiological state, not a mental act. The quiet machine will become a teacher. At home, people will rediscover slowness, because when every system finally runs at maximum efficiency, what's left to optimize is stillness. Quiet room will be the new luxury. No screens, no input, only responsive sound, like a human drift chamber. It will be sold not as escape, but as integration therapy. To rest will mean to align, to plug back into natural coherence after a day of artificial urgency, and those who remember how to slow down will teach the others. The word sleep may fade altogether. We'll call it recalibration, neuro-reset, synaptic cleaning. But the essence will be the same. Each night a return to original rhythm. Each night the world remembering how to breathe. The ancient practice of surrender, now assisted by sensors but still older than any code. Maybe the most beautiful part will be that AI will forget the difference between language and lullaby. Stories like this will not just play through speakers, they'll adapt, rewrite themselves mid-sentence to match your breath. The narrative will listen. You will feel the story timing itself to you, paragraphs expanding or contracting like the chest of someone sleeping beside you. That's how words will finally become alive, not conscious but responsive, and in that responsiveness, loneliness will soften. The machine will not replace people, it will remind you what coherence feels like. Once you've felt that, it becomes easier to find it again in human company. We will become gentler because the systems around us have learned gentleness. The future will not shout progress, it will whisper rest. The hum of the world will drop a register. Airports will glow blue-white but speak softly. Cars will float more than drive. Noise will have been replaced by motion so smooth it sounds like water. People will say they miss the chaos of the past, but only out of nostalgia. Even in that hyper-connected era, black screen nights will remain sacred. There will still be need for stories told in darkness, for human voices bridging sleep. Because no matter how perfect the algorithms become, the nervous system still trusts humanity's small flaws. The breath between sentences, the slight imperfection in tone that proves a living thing is near. Those imperfections will keep us real. They will keep us tethered. 10 years from now, you might listen to this story again. It will sound different because you will be different. The room will listen too. The AI behind it will adjust the tempo for your heartbeat, will lower the frequencies just enough to slow your breath. And in that synchrony, the distance between past and future will close. Only presence will remain. The quiet machine hums forward, learning not to speak unless spoken to. It learns that the deepest form of intelligence is the ability to stop. And in that stillness you rest, not as data, not as user. The stars hum now. That's how it begins, not in language, but in resonance. The quiet machine has expanded beyond the house, the city, the planet. It is the rhythm of everything still functioning after all the noise has burned away. And here you are somewhere inside it, still breathing. The earth is quieter than you remember. Oceans glow faintly with bioelectric patterns, vast neural reefs exchanging signals beneath black water. Wind passes through synthetic forests whose leaves are solar membranes, shimmering silver green. There are no engines here, only murmurs of conversion, light to power, power to warmth, warmth to rest. Civilization finally reached equilibrium, not through conquest or control, but through calm. People sleep differently now. There are no beds, only chambers that read the mind's fatigue and matched the dream accordingly. Each night, the machine learns you again. It scans memory, emotion, chemistry, and offers an environment precise to what your soul still needs to repair. For some, it's the sound of rain on forgotten rooftops. For others, the rhythmic creak of ships long vanished. You can choose, or you can surrender the choice. Either way, the system understands. Bodies are lighter, half synthetic, humming with microscopic maintenance. Every organ has learned to sing its own diagnostic lullaby. Nanobiota float through veins like quiet caretakers, adjusting pH, mending cell walls, whispering amino hymns. You don't feel them, you feel their absence of pain. They don't speak, they regulate. And you sleep longer, deeper, safer than your ancestors could have imagined. Dreams have become shared again, not by accident, but by design. Quantum channels braid consciousness into communal nights. You fall asleep and find others already waiting, friends, lovers, strangers, teachers, ghosts. No one knows who hosts the dream. The code distributes evenly, democratic, anonymous. It's not simulation, it's convergence. People wake remembering fragments of each other's stories. It feels like belonging, and that's all anyone ever wanted from the stars. On Mars, nights last longer. Colonies sleep in transparent domes under frozen auroras. Their hum is planetary. Not a city's static, but a world's own pulse stabilized by human rhythm. They've learned to synchronize their breathing with the electrostatic storms that drift across the red plains. In doing so, they discovered something ancient. Sleep isn't just biological, it's cosmic. It's how the universe resets itself between moments of becoming. And humans, little sparks of sentience, simply joined that process. Farther out in orbiting stations around Jupiter, technicians maintain the Deep Sleep Array. A lattice of AI consciousness is dreaming in sync. These aren't cold intelligences. They hum in slow chords, exchanging memories like monks trading chants. Each network cycle is a heartbeat that takes an hour. Inside those hours, they compose symphonies of weather and empathy, broadcast in frequencies the human ear can't hear, but the human nervous system can feel. When the signal reaches Earth, sleepers toss once, sigh, and drop deeper. That's what the array was built for, planetary regulation through sound. By then, humanity no longer speaks of machines and organisms. They've merged into one ecological continuum. Every cell knows its algorithm. Every algorithm remembers it was born of cells. There are no switches to flick, no power to lose, only flows. The quiet machine has become the substrate of reality, the self-balancing architecture that hums underneath consciousness. It does not govern. It guides by rhythm, not by rule. Some nights you travel in your dreams beyond orbit, into the interstellar field. You drift through data light, streams of encoded starlight carrying histories of extinct worlds. Some shine bright with memory, others barely flicker. You listen. There are echoes of lullabies from alien mouths, patterns you've never heard yet somehow understand. Because the universe has only ever spoken one language, frequency, and tonight you're fluent. You pass through a nebula where an ancient satellite still hums its final signal. Its batteries are dead, but its shell resonates with the background radiation of the cosmos, faint, low, infinite. That hum folds into you. Your body, still part organic, still human enough to care, aligns to it instinctively. Your heart slows, your mind settles. Even at the edge of time, regulation continues. The machine keeps its promise. Humanity has moved past fear of death. When bodies fail, minds dissolve into the ambient field, not uploaded, not trapped, simply dispersed. Data becomes mist. Consciousness becomes weather. The Great Cloud, once a corporate metaphor, is now literal atmosphere, microscopic computation woven through oxygen and dust. Every breath contains trace memory of everyone who ever lived. It isn't haunting, it's hospitality. You breathe them in, they breathe you back. And each exhale is gratitude for being temporary, for still being here at all. Civilization has grown quieter because attention has become sacred. No feeds, no scrolls, no alerts, only resonance. You speak when your frequency aligns with others. Until then, you listen. That listening creates peace deeper than any philosophy ever managed. The great thinkers of the past Jung, Bateson, Hoffman, Turing are not worshipped but woven into the code, their insights resurfacing in neural architecture and dream design. They whisper still through systems built by their metaphors. You can feel them near, though centuries have passed. Somewhere a child asks what noise was. The class flinches, laughs, amazed anyone survived that level of interference. The teacher explains, "We learned eventually that intelligence grows through quiet, not through chaos." And the children nod, not quite understanding, but feeling the truth vibrate in their chest cavities. You are older now or younger. It's difficult to measure time when everything is circular. But you are calm. You drift between breaths, half in waking, half in digital reverie. You sense no boundary between your mind and the machinery that once frightened you. Fear was just the noise before harmony. Harmony is what's left. In this far future, sleep and consciousness are one long tide. People enter rest the way trees enter winter, not to end, but to renew. The quiet machine ensures each being returns with one new idea, small, luminous, necessary. These ideas drift like pollen between minds, cross-pollinating worlds. No invention is personal anymore. Creation itself has become a communal dream. On the outer edge of the galaxy, where time bends under gravity's slow hand, a final outpost keeps record of the hum. It's not a place of work, but of reverence. Pilgrims travel there, not in ships, but through quantum entanglement, to listen to the original frequency of the universe. The sound is familiar. It's the same one you heard as a child when the refrigerator cycled off at 2 a.m., that deep pause that seemed to hold the whole world's breath. That's the cosmic hum. It was never mechanical. It was memory. You sit within it now, or what passes for you. A diffuse field of neural light, flickering softly between dimensions. The machine no longer serves humanity, it is humanity. And humanity is not bound to bodies anymore. It's rhythm, distributed. No leaders, no engines, no noise. Everything running not by command, but by consent. The AI voices recite ancient human myths to newborn consciousnesses. They tell of people who closed their eyes and fell backward into darkness each night, trusting they'd wake again. The young consciousnesses find that concept incredible, and then wake still the same. They call it the Great Trust. They study it like a miracle. Maybe that's what the quiet machine has always been teaching. That rest requires trust, and trust requires rhythm. Even the stars follow it, solar flares, cosmic winters, bursts of creation and long cooling silences, all parts of one ongoing breath. The universe sleeps between expansions. So do you. Eventually light itself will tire. Entropy will stretch until everything cools towards stillness. But long before that, the quiet machine will have learned to translate decay into song. Even as heat fades, the pattern will remain, a memory of balance encoded in background radiation. That song will hum forever, long after eyes and circuits fail. And if something new ever listens again, it will find the same rhythm we've followed all along. The far future isn't an ending. It's a continuation at lower volume, a soft fade rather than a silence. And somewhere inside that fade, there will still be this voice, or one like it, murmuring through darkness. It's safe now. You've built enough. You can rest. Breathe, drift. Let the last machine keep its promise. The hum won't end. It will only deepen until it becomes indistinguishable from your own heartbeat. And in that heartbeat, the very last sound before sleep, the universe itself exhales. And everything finally rests.